Hey everyone. Okay, I ran into some problems with the racing mower. Just to give you perspective on when it currently is, it's July 5th, 2022. The problem I ran into is with the carburetor. Unfortunately, I snapped off the wire going to the carb backfire prevention solenoid. I know a lot of people, when they build off-roaders, they could care less about that. Me personally, I'm completely opposite. I do care about them. Also, this one here has the main jet built into it, so I'm not 100% sure how you would necessarily go by bypassing that backfire prevention solenoid. So, unfortunately, it's an unattanium part. I did actually have one ordered, but the company selling it says, sorry, it's unattanium. We can no longer get it, even though it was on their website. I've looked on eBay for it. There's none. There's one that sold, I believe it was back in March, but that was the only one. So if anyone has these engines with that backfire prevention solenoid, before you go and cut that wire off, check if that's still good. So it's actually worth some money for the Vanguard engines. The backfire prevention solenoid is worth money. So don't just go cut them off unless you absolutely cannot find a dead one to put in its place. Just a little bit of heads up there. So anyways, I went on eBay. I found the carburetor. I'm hoping it's the right carburetor. It doesn't necessarily say it's for a Vanguard, but we'll wait and see. So the future plans of this engine might not be staying in this machine. That's another reason why I wanted the backfire prevention solenoid, just in case I pull this engine back out in the future, put something different in here, and I go and sell this engine. I want this engine to still have its original features from when it was first built. But as you can see, the throttle and choke are actually hooked up on here. I got that done just before the wire snapped off. Unfortunately, it's a hardwired wire going right into the actual solenoid. It's not a plug like the newer style. So that's basically why it broke off, and it was my silliness. I didn't see the wire underneath my one tire. I rolled the machine forward and it snapped off. So yeah, it's a poor design on Briggs & Stratton's part, and it was my fault for not paying attention to where the wire was. I thought the wire was in the battery box, but it wasn't. It's kind of unfortunate because this carburetor, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this carburetor. That's the sucky part about all of this. So here's what I got. This came in from eBay yesterday. I didn't realize it was a complete tune-up kit because it actually came with spark plugs, which is decent because that machine has mismatched spark plugs in it. When I bought that engine, it only had one spark plug in it. I only paid, I think, like $15 to $20 for that engine. So I wasn't overly worried about it potentially having a dead cylinder, but it does not have a dead cylinder. So anyways, two new spark plugs. Who knows how good they will be. Hopefully they will at least last and work. Dropping stuff as I'm standing here. A decent quality fuel filter. There's some clamps here as well for said fuel filter and extra. And it came with one of these screen style filters for some reason. And down to the actual carburetor itself. One moment. Okay, so here's the actual carburetor itself. That's the side that will go towards the intake. Or no, that's the side that goes towards the intake. I already potentially see a problem. Let's go take a quick peek. Nope, my mistake. It does mount that way. So the fuel line comes in from the machine on the left if you're facing the front. Your throttle and choke are on the right, again, when you're facing the machine. Good, that kind of worried me there, because I waited a long time for this carburetor. It wasn't overly expensive, but I waited quite a while for it to come in. Anyways, back in the box, I have a pigtail for the bottom of the carburetor. And that is my ground. And that's my positive right there. So it has everything I need to connect it. And like I said, it will be connected. I don't cut these. Also, it did come with 2 new gaskets, which is nice. Because I know the the intake side gasket is non-existent on that, and I do not have an air filter side gasket. So for the gaskets alone, yeah, it was decent. And it came with one of these cheap fuel lines. So pretty much all carburetors you buy nowadays comes with that type of fuel line right there. They're decent. They're not the greatest. They do kind of kink if you bend them like around a tight bend, but they're decent. So anyways, for what I paid, I think hopefully it'll work out okay. With these carburetors, they're definitely a hit and a miss. Basically 1 out of say 5 to 10 carburetors will be junk, and really I haven't had issues with the eBay carburetors. I've had issues with the Amazon carburetors. So hopefully this one will be good and I won't have to say anything bad about an eBay carburetor. And believe me, I have wrote negative reviews about Amazon carburetors, even though they probably come from the same supplier, but for some reason the ones from eBay seem to be better in some cases. But like I said, it all depends on the carburetor, and I guess it depends on who's operating the machine on any given day. If they care about their job, even though they're only making probably 50 cents an hour, or if they don't care about their job because they're making 50 cents an hour. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Carburetor, it'll be going on soon. So that machine is just about ready to do a test run and see if it spins the tires. So just been waiting on this, and hopefully I can proceed. So I'll talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.